Made with Love by Shane, and hey, Made with Love by Andrew and Professor Meatball, and we're going to talk about dividends today. Are you guys excited, right? You guys have your mouse clicked over that like button, click, click, and that subscribe button. Then in that case, we don't have anything else to talk about. We have the question from Max Mark. Since GME has cleared their debts, do you think that they will issue a dividend? Well, let's find out with this very handy dandy, quick and easy GME 2021 dividend speculation and the myths and the answers. I see a bunch of you telling us where you think you're from, the exotic places in the world: Venezuela, Taiwan, Puerto Rico, Virginia, Slovakia, Trinidad, South Caribbean, and so Wakanda. Oh, so if you guys think that you are also from an exotic location, drop that in the comments down below, because we do have a very wide and diverse Moon platoon here. And Meatball is the general of the Moon platoon. If you guys wanted to join, easy peasy, just press that join next to the subscribe button or down in the Patreon to support the show. If you guys are wondering what technical trading app I'm using, this is called Webull. Get your 2 free stocks if you wanted to also use this free app to be able to trade like me. Okay, let's jump directly into this DD here. Myth number 1. Oh yeah, by the way, give the upvote for user Rudy Boy with a 0 instead of an O. Myth number 1. OMG, GameStop cleared their debts to pay the dividends. They can put whatever number they want and short sellers will have to pay this to us. No. You can't come up with a random number for the dividends, as you are strictly limited by the total number of retained earnings from the previous calendar year. GameStop's 2020 RE was 470 million. Total amount of all dividends paid out in 2021 cannot exceed this amount. Now, this is an important step, is that GameStop can issue up to this amount. However, we covered in a previous DD that naked shorts, the shares that shouldn't exist but do, that are exceeding 100% of the float, well, when Ryan Cohen or whoever else becomes CEO then says, hey, I want to issue out this many shares, you are eventually then going to see the Citadel and the other hedge funds of short hedge funds have to basically piggyback on top of the shares that they owe, because they've scaffolded off of all of the shares that exist with recursive shorting and naked shorting, right? If you want to learn more, check out that DD about dividends. As we continue on to myth number 2, they will pay the dividends out by the end of April. That's myth number 2. No, to pay the dividends out, GameStop has to get approval from the shareholders, i.e. at the annual shareholder meeting. Moreover, there are a few important dates in this process: announcement date, record date, ex-dividend date, and then the actual payout date. All of this takes time and doesn't happen within a week. However, today is 4/15, right, McFlurry Day, so we are 5 days away until April 20th, which was confirmed by Vanguard to be a day that we recall some shares. And if you guys haven't seen that video yet, not the topic of this one, but also important to be able to make sure that your voice is heard for that share recall. So that was myth number 2, right? Stop putting dates into things. We don't like dates on this channel. Myth number 3, they think that GameStop will have a regular dividend of 10 cents and then a special dividend of $1 to $3. Possible, but very unlikely. Having a dividend around $3 will wipe out 210 million of cash off their balance, which is technically an economic suicide, taking into account their expenses in buying back the bonds this month. The reason why, so I'm going to interject with my opinion here. The reason why that the author might think this is unreasonable is because they just paid off $216 million worth of debts, 100% of their 10% senior notes that we caught on live stream a couple days ago. So that is then like paying off $100 million of student loans and then going out and buying $100 million worth of like nice toys and gifts for your in-laws and your parents. Is that likely? Not really, but is it possible? Perhaps, right? And it really depends on what GME wants to do. Either Ryan Cohen wants to initiate a squeeze mode with this dividend, or just show some appreciation to the people holding GME. Either way, both of those are within the realm of possibility, but with the nice, tall, not a grain of salt, a pillar of salt that we need to be able to pay attention to. Myth number 4, this will pay dividends in crypto. We've heard the DD of the crypto squeeze, right? A special crypto dividend yesterday. This author sees where the idea is coming from, and they think that this is even technically possible, but this will create a huge bureaucratic impact on their legal department. Imagine a ton of paperwork for lawyers for a few months, taking into account the company transformation plans. Not sure if this is anyhow preferable option comparing to the usual dividend, which will have an equal effect on the shorts. My opinion on this is that if they did want to move towards crypto, as their job description looking for people with crypto experience seems to imply, yes, the author is correct that they aren't, putting out new lawyer employment details that says if you're a lawyer with specifically, crypto-related dividend payouts. This is something that they might be lacking, or perhaps they already have influence on in terms of the legal department. That's just not insight that we have. So if you are concerned about exactly what this means, look at the crypto video, have that be a possibility in your mind, but don't pay attention to that too closely. But remember that the crypto squeeze is a fun word to be able to, at the very least, consider that GME is moving in that direction. Finally, so those are the 4 myths, and now their expectations regarding the dividend saga. Okay, number 1, 2021 proxy statement. First thing that we'll see is an updated 2021 proxy statement that might include the dividend topic. If this happens, then we should see a huge impact on the share price, as some of the shorts will start to cover immediately, basically really afraid of having to hold the bag on paying out way more shares, way more dividends themselves, especially the recursive and the naked shorters. Number 2, if GameStop really plans to pay the dividends, it will be somewhere between, they think, 1 cent and $1. Amounts other than that will leave the company with no cash in the moment, which is a very vulnerable and unpreferable position. So once again, my opinion depends on what Ryan Cohen wants to do with this dividend issue. Is he trying to make his parents, his in-laws happy, which i.e. are you're apes, right? We are all in-laws and parents of GME trying to
Did you just say that a GameStop pays off all their debts and do not have to wait until
are they just
April 30th
to trigger the squeeze?
Pay
Ryan
dividends?
Cohen probably has poured over the DD and understands the position that GME is in. Number 3, they're not expecting news before the proxy statement date, which in 2020 was April 27th. So not pushing this date, just a fact. We don't like dates here. But if the dividend topic will be highlighted there, we will see this discussion point in the annual shareholders voting agenda. Thus, make sure that you talk to your broker in order to recall your shares for voting. Make sure that you can vote in the shareholders voting agenda, guys. Make sure that in the shareholders voting meeting, okay? They'd like to remind you that not even a single piece of evidence pointing to GameStop will pay the dividends in 2021. So we mentioned in that DD, dividends are currently speculation, but just the, I guess the cultural or the expectation of when you pay off all your debts, when you pay off all your student loans, you then go out and give your in-laws a nice treat. Once again, remember the analogy, in-laws are us, the shareholders. All we have to do is use our imagination and rumors echoing in the sub, so please don't set your expectations too high. Calm your T's down, buy and hold. Shorts are effed anyway with the dividends being paid out this year, with or without. So, thank you once again to this user. Well, he disappeared. Thank you once again to the user Max Mark for asking this question. If you guys have a question you want me to answer on live stream, easiest way is to join our live stream. We go bell to bell, and it would be awesome to see you there. Thank to all of the people that make this show possible, right? The Gorillionaire, Meatball the Space Legend here, and the Moon Platoon, also the countless Mo monkeys that cannot be squeezed into this frame right here. Squeeze, pun intended. And we will all see you in the money. Peace.